There's a moment, a single moment, where a woman looks at you and something shifts. Not slowly, not gradually, instantly, like a switch that flips and never flips back. And the scariest part, you were smiling. You thought everything was going perfectly fine. The conversation felt good, the energy felt real. You had no idea that in that exact moment, you lost her completely. I know this feeling because I lived it over and over again. I would meet someone incredible. The conversations were electric, the laughs were genuine, the connection felt like something real. And then, out of nowhere, she went cold. Texts got shorter, replies took longer, and eventually, silence. Complete silence. Every single time I told myself the same comfortable lie. She must have lost interest for no reason. But here's the truth I had to learn the hard way. There is always a reason. Always. See, most guys spend all their energy trying to get a woman's attention. They think about what to wear, what to say, how to look. But nobody, and I mean nobody, teaches you how to keep it. And the brutal truth that most men never hear is this. Losing her interest is not about what you don't have. It's not about your looks. It's not about your money. It's not about some other guy. It's about what you're doing wrong without even realizing it. These are not obvious mistakes. They're invisible, silent, the kind that feel completely normal in the moment, even kind, even thoughtful, but destroy attraction quietly behind the scenes. Like a slow leak in a tire. Everything looks fine until suddenly it isn't. I spent years making every single one of these mistakes. I watched connections fade. I replayed conversations trying to figure out what went wrong. And after all of that, I finally understand exactly what causes it. Today, I'm breaking down all 7 of them. Not to make you feel bad, but so you never lose someone over something that was completely fixable. Because here's what nobody tells you. She was already interested. You had her. And then you lost her. Not because of who you are, but because of what you did. Let's get into it. Mistake 1. Over-texting. You finally got her number, and your brain went into overdrive. Good morning text before she's even had coffee, a meme by noon, how's your day going by 3 p.m.? You okay? You seem quiet by evening. And if she didn't reply fast enough, another message, just to check, just to make sure. Here's what was happening on her end. Every notification from you started feeling like homework, like something she had to respond to, like pressure she didn't ask for. Psychologists call this emotional crowding, when someone fills every available space before trust has even been established. And when the brain feels crowded, it doesn't think, this person really likes me. It thinks, I need space. She didn't lose interest in you as a person. She lost interest in the version of you that couldn't wait, the version that turned excitement into obligation. And the worst part, you thought you were showing interest, but what she felt was weight, heavy, suffocating weight, unearned. The fix is not to play games. The fix is to actually have a life full enough that you're not staring at your phone waiting for her reply. Because a man with a full life is a man worth waiting for. Mistake 2. Seeking constant validation. Did you like what I said? Was that weird? Do you think I handled that okay? Be honest, am I too much? Every time you asked her to confirm your value, you handed her a job she never applied for. The job of managing your confidence, of holding your self-esteem together, of being responsible for how you feel about yourself. And that job is exhausting. Think about it from her side. She was attracted to someone who seemed solid, someone who seemed sure of himself. And now, every conversation requires emotional maintenance. Every interaction ends with her wondering if she said the right thing to keep you okay. Here's the psychology behind this. Attraction is fundamentally built on the feeling that someone is complete on their own, that they don't need you to function, but they want you anyway. The moment she becomes your mirror, the moment her opinion becomes the source of your confidence, she stops being your interest. She becomes your therapist, and nobody is attracted to their therapist. The man who knows his own worth without needing her to confirm it, that man is magnetic, not because he's arrogant, but because he's free. And freedom is one of the most attractive things a human being can have. Mistake 4. Canceling plans last minute. She planned her evening around you. She got ready. She was genuinely excited. She probably told a friend, "I'm meeting someone tonight." She built a small version of the future in her head, and then your message came. "Hey, something came up. Can we reschedule?" Once, life happens. She'll understand. Twice, she starts to notice a pattern. She starts calculating. She starts protecting herself. 3 times, she stops building that small version of the future before you even confirm, because she's learned that your word doesn't hold weight. Here's what most men don't understand about this. Canceling plans is not just about the canceled plans. It is a direct signal about how much she matters in your world. And when that signal keeps coming back negative, her brain does something automatic and protective. It stops investing. Not dramatically, not with a big speech. Just quietly, she invests a little less each time, until one day you reach out and the warmth is just gone. Reliability is not boring. Reliability is not the opposite of excitement. Reliability is the foundation that makes everything else possible. A man who shows up when he says he will is a man she can actually imagine a future with. Mistake 5. Talking only about yourself. You were nervous, so you talked. It made sense. Talking felt safer than silence. So you told her about your job, your goals, your past relationships, your opinions on everything, your plans for the future, your achievements, your struggles, your whole story in one sitting. And she sat there, nodding, smiling politely, laughing at the right moments. But inside, one quiet question kept repeating in her mind. Does he even see me? Does he know I'm here? Or am I just an audience? Here's the brutal psychological truth about conversation and attraction. People don't fall for the most impressive person in the room. They fall for the person who made them feel the most seen. And you cannot make someone feel seen if you are doing all the talking. The man who asks one genuine question, not a polite question, a real question, and then actually listens to the answer before planning his next story, that man is more attractive than the man with the most impressive resume in the world, because he did something rare. He made her feel like the most interesting person in the room, and people never forget how that feels. Mistake 6. Changing your personality around her. Your friends know a version of you that is relaxed, funny, comfortable, a version that laughs easily and speaks without thinking too hard. And then she walks into the room, and that version disappears. Suddenly, you're formal, careful. Every word is calculated. Every joke is rehearsed. You become a performance of yourself instead of yourself. She can feel it. Women are extraordinarily sensitive to behavioral inconsistency. It's not a social skill. It's almost a survival instinct. When your energy shifts around her specifically, her brain doesn't think, "He's trying to impress me, how sweet." Her brain thinks something more unsettling. Who is this person when I'm not watching? Which version is real? And that question, once it appears, is almost impossible to undo, because trust is built on consistency, and consistency means being the same person whether she's in the room or not. The most attractive thing you can do around her is exactly what you do when she's not there. Be yourself, completely and unapologetically, because she was attracted to something real. Don't replace it with a performance. Mistake 6. Reacting to every test. She said something slightly cold. You panicked and over-explained yourself. She took 4 hours to reply. You sent 3 follow-up messages asking if everything was okay. She casually mentioned a guy from work. Your whole energy shifted. You got quiet, distant, visibly bothered. Every single reaction told her one thing with absolute clarity. You are not stable. And I want you to really understand why stability matters so much here. It's not about being cold. It's not about pretending you don't care. It's about something much deeper. A man who cannot be rattled, who doesn't crumble at the first sign of uncertainty, feels safe. And feeling safe is one of the most underrated forms of attraction that exists. Women test, not always consciously, not always deliberately, but they do, because they need to know what's underneath the surface. They need to know if what they see holds up under pressure. Every time you react with panic or jealousy or desperation, you answer that question in the worst possible way. Stay grounded. Let uncertainty sit without needing to fix it immediately. That stillness, that quiet confidence, is what she was looking for all along. Mistake 7. Making her the center of your universe. This last one is the most painful because it looks exactly like love. You think about her constantly. You rearrange your schedule for her. Your mood depends on her last message. Your day is good if she's warm and terrible if she's distant. Your whole emotional world orbits around one person. And from the outside, it might even seem romantic. But here's what she actually feels when this happens. Not special, not chosen, responsible. She feels responsible for your emotional state, for your happiness, for your entire day. And that is not a romantic feeling. That is a heavy, suffocating, exhausting feeling. Psychology is unforgiving here. We are attracted to people who add to our lives, people who bring something, energy, perspective, joy that stands on its own, not people who need us to function, not people whose entire world collapses without our attention. Because when you make someone your whole world, you stop being their equal. You become their dependent, and you cannot build real attraction with someone you feel responsible for. The most attractive version of you is the one who has his own world, his own goals, his own friends, his own fire, and who simply, genuinely invites her into it. That invitation from a man who is already complete is the most powerful thing in the world. She didn't go cold randomly. She didn't lose interest for no reason. There was a moment, a specific, traceable moment, and now you know what caused it. But here's what I need you to understand before you close this video. Every single one of these mistakes, every one, comes from the same root: insecurity. The fear of losing her made you text too much. The fear of not being enough made you seek validation. The fear of being replaceable made you react to every test. Fear, that's all it was. And the solution is not a trick. It's not a strategy. It's not about playing games or acting unbothered. The solution is becoming genuinely unbothered. Becoming a man who is so grounded in who he is, so full of his own purpose and direction, that his confidence doesn't depend on any one person's reaction. That man, the one who is present without being desperate, interested without being obsessive, consistent without being boring, she never loses interest in him. Not because he's perfect, but because being around him feels like something she's never quite felt before. Build that man, starting today. Subscribe, because there's a lot more of this coming and you don't want to miss it.